The freelancer who talks the most usually loses, while the one who wins is the one who shows the most credibility. I recently closed a 3K sale off Upwork and made over 30K on the platform with very little sales experience. So in this video, I'll share my 3-step process of what to do on every sales call, along with a lot of hand gestures. Plus, I'll go over ways to guarantee your proposal gets viewed so you actually get that interview. Over the last 7 days, I applied for 10 gigs, 6 proposals got viewed, 3 were interviewed, and 1 actually hired me. Now, before you say, oh, it's because I have a top-rated badge and I show money and reviews on my profile, keep in mind I'm going against people who show over 100K made on Upwork. So I'll go over in detail what to include in your proposal later on, but the first major insight that I want to include is make sure you're including a case study in every single one. But not just any case study. This case study should include these 2 things. The first is at the very top, include a review from the client. The second is show the results you achieved. That's it. So with a case study like that, there's no way future client can doubt your credibility. I understand it's not always possible for someone who's new on Upwork, but the goal is to get your first couple gigs, do the job so well, the client leaves you a 5-star review, and then create a case study from that to get more future clients. So on this video probably won't do well. People kind of want quick tips, but I'm making this video for someone like me who is newer at sales, more introverted, not great at speaking to people, and not great at selling. Just like how I was and, still am. So when it comes to selling, the 2 most important things you should understand is that 1, everyone makes a sales video is full of shit, at least partially, because they're always just bragging about their wins and hiding their losses. And no one who's good at sales is actually closing 100% of the time. They're lucky to close 50%, if that. Next, while these tips are meant to help someone who's a beginner at sales calls, the only way you're actually going to learn them is by doing a bunch yourself, failing a bunch, doing more, succeeding a little bit, still failing a lot, doing more, succeeding more, but still failing a bit. So the key is learning while failing a lot. For example, say you're new to skateboarding and you're trying to learn how to do an ollie. You could have someone explain to you how to pop your tail, how to slide your foot so you get off the ground perfectly. But all of that doesn't matter until you actually get on the skateboard yourself. As you skateboard more and try to do more ollies, eventually something will click. You'll gain a subtle difference between what's working and what's not. It's hard to explain if you've never skateboarded or surfed or played an instrument, but there's a subtle feeling of something just clicking. You're moving your body in a certain way, and it just feels right. And it's the same with sales. Eventually you get to a point where you close a Zoom call and you know that you're going to close this sale. You know they're interested and things just feel right. The point of this video is to help you get to that place quicker. And no matter what you sell on Upwork or what your business is, you have to learn how to connect with people and how to sell to them. And the only way to do this is by failing a lot. Now on to the actual tips. First, your proposals. If you're not including the 3 below things, the odds of getting viewed are very slim. The first thing is include an eye-catching, funny, awkward, or unique line. The second is paste some text of a client review in your Upwork profile to give you a little bit of credibility. And third, the holy grail, include a case study that includes a review from the client and the results you achieve for them. Now, say you do all that right, and another client wants to speak with you. They ask you for an interview or a quick Zoom call. Here are the 3 simplest things you can do to close more sales. The first one is creating a connection or rapport. The first, when they join, say, hey, thanks for the call, I appreciate the time, and ask where they live or where they're located. Maybe share where you're located. The point is to have a quick 10-second, 30-second chat back and forth before getting into the actual work. The goal is to get them to smile, and if you get them to laugh, you're totally off to a good start. Then you quickly transition into actual work by saying, what are you guys dealing with, and how can I help you? The second is credibility, and it deals with authenticity and conviction. How strongly do you actually believe you can achieve these results for them? Including this next piece will be a game changer if you don't do it already. Customers want to see results. So if you're doing something like SEO or ads or AI automation, it's super simple. Just share your screen, go through your exact process, and then go through results you achieved for a client. If previously you were just talking about yourself without sharing your screen or sharing any results you achieved, this will double your sales. On every sales call, people want to see 2 things. They want to connect with you as a person, and they want to confirm your credibility. So sharing your client reviews and results does just that. The final phase in every interview or sales call comes down to giving the quote. First, don't ask them for their budget. It sounds unprofessional, like you don't know what you're doing. The second is if you're giving a quote that's too high or too low, you're going to blow the sale. Finally, if they ask you for a quote in the call, you don't have one ready, again, the sale is gone. The way to get around this is by number 1, creating a quote before you even get on the call. Just have it on a notepad or a sticky note ready to go. The second is offer 2 customized package based on the work they want. Include a standard package and a premium package. Make the premium package about 2/3 more expensive than your standard package. This will give them the option to give you more money. After you give them the quote, ask them, does this quote work for your budget? That's how you push towards a close. Lastly, if their quote was received well and they're agreeing to move forward, try to end on a light and fun note. Talk about your weekend plans, mention your dog, mention your wife, mention something light, because I guarantee that will stick with them more than all the technical bullshit that you went over previously. People always remember how they feel at the end of a call. One last bonus thing is that after a sales call, don't be too needy. Don't follow up a bunch. Don't be overly polite. Don't be checking in with them. They have the quote, they have your information. Step back and be kind of aloof. Because no matter how many times you follow up with them, the ball's ultimately in their court. I'm not saying don't be professional, but act as if you have several sales calls each day and you close at least one sales call a day. If that was actually the case, you'd be pretty direct in your messaging and pretty carefree. If you're constantly following up with them and saying please and thank you and being overly needy, they may not think you actually ever closed a sales call. So once they have your quote, step back and be kind of aloof. Act like you have the confidence of a 20-year-old live streamer with 3 bodyguards. Just carefree, confident, and don't forget, professional. The last bit of info to keep in mind is that you're not going to close every sale. Sometimes people don't want what you're selling, or they're having a bad day, or they just don't like you, and that's totally fine. How you win is you keep doing more interviews and more sales calls. You document what's working, and you create your own plan and system for every call going forward. These are things that work for me, so hopefully they can work for you as well. Now that you have some basic info on proposals and sales calls, you should learn what to avoid in Upwork. I go over that in this video here with 25 truths to keep in mind before you start the platform. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.